It's the Joseph Bristow Show.
If you enjoy the video, hit the like. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe.
Welcome to another episode of the Joseph Bristow Show. On today's episode, I go over different stuff, like just life stuff. I got to jump straight into this episode. This one is like kind of important to me, right? So on today's episode, I want to talk about spirituality. Okay, so just to begin off rip, I'm not a overly religious person, but follow me for a second, just to begin, right? So let's say you got a Hindu, Christian, Jew-ish, and let's say Muslim. Okay. And let's say Hinduism is a car, Christianity is a bus, Jewish is a bus, car, what other motor scooter. It's a scooter, and Islam is a bike. Okay, right? Now all of these are modes of transportation, right? Okay, follow me now for a second. And let's say the ending, we're all trying to go here, to heaven. Right, so heaven. That's where we're all trying to go. That's where all of these places are trying to go, right? So the car, let's say the car takes the 95, the highway, and the bus takes the, and I don't know, the city streets, right? City streets, and let's say the scooter takes, I don't know, the underpass. I don't even know why I said that, but let's just say it takes the underpass, right? And the bike takes the back roads. Okay. At the end of the day, they're all going to heaven. The thing that matters the most is how fast you get there. How fast you get there. Right? And how much work you put in, or let's say how much work it costs you, right? I should have said energy. How much energy? That sounds better. How much energy it costs you right? Those are two main things. Right? That's the biggest difference in any religion, is how fast you're going to get there and how much energy it costs you to get there. Okay? That's my understanding. That's my concept of religions and all of that stuff. Religions are great. I think all religions are great because ultimately the purpose of the religion, right? The purpose, let's just establish this right now. Purpose of religion. The purpose of religion is structure. It's structure. That's the purpose of any religion. It's structure. To teach you how to get where you're trying to go. How to get, to teach, it's to teach how to get to heaven. Right? So you'll have people that's like, oh, I don't practice any religion. And their life is super stressful. And they don't understand why they have such a stressful life. Why, they're always suffering from depression and no one wants to talk to them. And they just have all these problems. Well, mainly because they lack spirituality. They lack spirituality. They're trying to get to heaven, but they ain't got no bike, no bus, no car, no scooter. They don't have a way to get there. They think you know what they doing? Let me tell you. Non-religious people, that's what I meant to put. Non-religious, they walk. That's how they get into heaven. And they walk anywhere. They walk anywhere. and that's how they get into heaven. So they might walk the 95, they might walk the city streets, they might walk the underpass, they might walk the back roads, but they're walking. They're probably going to get there the slowest because they don't have a real structure on how to get there. So they'll say, so you'll say to a spiritual person, well, do you pray? Yeah. Okay. How? Oh, I just talk to God. You just talk to God like how me and you were just talking. You just be like, hey God, what's up? Blah, 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 blah. You don't do anything else. That's it. That's how you get to. That's how you pray. Yeah, that's how I pray. That's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Again, we all get into heaven, but you are clearly going to get there very, very slowly. Muslims have a specific way that they pray. They make salat. Christians have a specific way that they pray. They put their two hands together. They get on their knees and they pray. You know what I'm saying? Jewish people have a specific way that they pray. You're understanding what I'm saying? That there is a way to do the thing that you're trying to do. Okay. Now that we got that basic concept understood, I want to get into what I really want to get into. And what I really want to get into is the idea that everyone is going to hell. Everyone. Every single person on this planet will go to hell when we die. Why am I saying that? I say that because the concept of hell, in my opinion, and in the opinion of many, many, many people on this planet, is that hell is a hospital. Hell is a hospital, and you will go through withdrawals. Right? So why am I saying that? If you don't know or want, miss means no memory, so no seeing anyone. Right, so senses, memories, connections to others. Right. So when you die, the reason why hell is a hospital is because when you die, you think you're not going to remember anything? You think you're not going to remember anybody? Because people will say that. They'll be like, well, when I die, I won't care. And nothing will matter because I'm dead. I'm dead. Nothing will matter. Well, if that's the case, then that means that you won't remember any of your family, any of your loved ones in heaven. You're not going to know anybody. That means that when you die and you go to heaven, you're not going to know anybody. Like, think about that for a second. If you die and you're not going to know anything, you're not going to remember, you're not going to know that you're dead, you're not going to know none of that stuff, then you will never see or know those people. So all that, oh, I'll see you in the next life, or I'll see you in heaven. I can't wait to be with my grandma in heaven. But then you turn around and say, well, I'm not going to know anything when I die. So you won't have any memories. So the reason hell is a hospital is because you have to let go. You have to let go of this life thing, the five senses, the smelling, the hearing, the tasting. You got to let go of your memories. You got to let go of your connections to others. You literally have to let that go. So when you die, you're going to know that you died. You're going to know. I'm dead. I got to let go of my kids and my mom and my dad. I wonder how they're doing. No, I got to let that go. I got to let go of the memories, the laughing and the giggling with my siblings. I got to let go of the tasting, the touching. Oh, the burger. Oh, I miss seeing the beautiful plants, feeling the water on my skin. You got to let all of that go. That's going to hurt. That's where the withdrawals come in. That's hell. Anyone who's ever been on drugs and had to stop, anyone who's ever had an addiction and had to stop their addiction, they had to quit it, they'll tell you, that shit is hard. It hurts. it is hard. Okay, on to the next step. Another reason why we're all going to hell. All creations will bow, right? Well, this is not another reason why we're all going to hell, but the idea is all creations will bow to God. In which case, hell is a hospital. It's not a forever place because all creations must bow to God. So if you're in hell forever, because I think people are forgetting what forever means. If you're in hell forever, when will you bow to God? Right? Because God says that. All creations must bow to him. Every spiritual book says it. When is unknown, right? So we don't know when all things will bow to God, but all things will bow to God. All started, then changed. That's okay. Prodigal son returns. Right. All started, then changed. So All things will bow to God. So maybe you started out like the devil started as an angel, and then he lost his place, and now he's the devil. And one day he will return to bowing to God. The prodigal son returns. He doesn't have a choice. It's not a forever thing. Again, when, we don't know, because our concept of time is completely different from God's concept of time, right? So on to the next thing, right? We have no real concept of time. God's time is not our time. Nature time, trees, the cosmos, the microorganisms. These are all different concepts of time. Literally, let's stop for a second and think about this. God's time is not our time. Nature's time. So trees, just trees have a different concept of time than us. If you look at a time lapse of a plant, plants move. But if you sit down and you just watch that plant all day, it's going to be very hard for you to perceive and see that plant moving. But to the plant, it's moving quickly. The plant don't think it's moving slow. The plant's mind is it's moving. The things around it are moving at a way faster pace than it. That's the difference. So its concept of time is very different. The cosmos, the stars, the planets, their concept of time is completely different from ours, right? Because you're talking 1 billion years before the sun burns out. But maybe to the sun, it's a blink of an eye. Microorganisms, time is completely bonkers for them. It's very different from what we understand. So the idea of time, the concept of time, is a man-made thing, and it changes based on your relativity to the time, your relativity to speed, your relativity to your position in the time and the space, right? And your relativity to gravity. All these things are scientific facts. You can literally look it up. So our concept of time is very different, right? So now we go into the next part. No parent would punish their child forever. Ever merciful, understanding. So whenever these people say, oh, you're going to go to hell forever, that doesn't make any sense. What kind of father, what kind of parent puts you in the corner forever? That's not a very merciful, understanding, loving parent. It's not. That's horrible parenting 101. So if God is our ultimate parent, the greatest parent, he's all of our fathers, why would he punish us forever? It just doesn't make any sense. Okay, on to the next point. The physical of life is connected and important to the spiritual growth and understanding. So this is another concept that people really don't get. To overt sin, we have marriage, do the right thing, don't look, so don't allow your eyes to bring on lust and greed, right? And speak life into other people. So your physical living, the physicality of our life, is a part of our spiritual life. It is connected. It is one and the same. The spiritual aspect of our lives, it's bonded to our physical life. And again, marriage is very important because this will avert you from lust. You have somebody to be sexual with. Do the right thing. This will avert you from murder, stealing, right? The 7 deadly sins. Same thing for don't look. It's not just don't look at women or don't look at men and lust for them, but it's like don't look at the big plate of food. Don't look at the food and get greedy because, oh, you see the food so you eat the food. Don't do that. That's greed. That's literally a part of the 7 deadly sins. Okay, then on to the last and most important concept of all. No one can exit life sin-free. This is why all of these reasons are like a part of why, everyone will go to hell, why everyone will bow down to God, why hell is not a forever thing. No one can exit life sin-free. Microorganisms are alive. They're alive. The microorganisms, the germs, the plants, the little the little stuff floating in the air that you can't see. It's there. It's alive. It's not alive in the same sense that you and me are alive, heart pumping, thoughts thinking, all that stuff. But it's alive. We breathe that stuff in. When you breathe it in, you're literally killing these microorganisms. Your body kills germs and viruses. You're murdering other living creatures, plants, and food. You're killing something else so that you can live. You're gonna if all sin is equal, if murder is murder, murder is murder. Murder is murder. It doesn't say in the Bible, if you kill a human, that's the only thing that's considered murder. No, if you kill animals, that too is murder. That's God's creation. That's God's creation. So you cannot exit life sin-free. It is impossible. No one is going to exit life sin-free. Even if you lived a perfectly wonderful life, you still got to eat. You eating plants. Plants are alive. What do you think fruit is? What do you think fruit is? Fruit is a baby tree. It's a baby plant. That's what a fruit is. Because if you take the fruit with the seeds and you put it in the ground, a new plant will grow. That's a new life will grow. So you're eating this plant, this baby tree. You're eating it. Imagine there was an alien species that ate humans, and they thought, well, we don't eat the big humans. We only eat the babies. We get the pregnant female, and when she spits out the baby, we take it and we eat it right then and there, right? It's still alive. It's still alive. Okay. And then on the final part is, unless you ask for forgiveness with your last breath, right? In which case, most people are not going to do that. So literally, on your dying bed, on your very last breath, the very last thing you say is, God, forgive me. And then I'm dead. That is the only way that you would be able to say that you got your forgiveness from God. And even then, God has to actually grant you the forgiveness. Who's to say that he will? We don't know. But the whole point of this is that no one's going to make it out of life sin-free. No one's going to make it out of life alive. When you die, you will remember your life. You will remember your life. And because you will remember your life, that's what gives me the idea that hell is a hospital. And we're all going to go to hell. How long we're there depends on our attachments to this life. It depends on what we did in this life, what we did to others, how we made people feel. It depends on how easily we can let go of this, the physicality of being alive. But imagine you're with somebody for 50 years. You've been with this person. This is your partner, your spouse, your lover. You've been with them for 50 years. 50 years you've lived in the same house. You've been together. You're going to tell me when you die that's completely just gone? It's just gone. You just don't remember that. You that meant nothing. That doesn't make any sense. Our perception of time is we don't even understand what time is. We have no idea. The average person lives to be 80 years old. The planet has been alive for billions of years. Billions of years. Our planet has been alive. When we die, you will be dead longer than you were alive. Just stop and think about that for a second. There are people who were alive for 60 years and they've been dead for almost 100, almost 1,000 years they've been dead. Our concept of time, we have no idea what time is and how it actually works. Okay, so I kind of just wanted to make this episode. I was talking to a friend and she was saying some stuff, and I just wanted to explain to her and explain to the world that, look, at the end of the day, we're all going to the same place. We're all trying to go to heaven. How we get there, how fast we get there, just depends on our means to get there. And ultimately, if you really want a true connection with God, you would need to be in constant prayer. And you would need to be in constant prayer. And there's only one religion that tells you to pray 5 times a day constantly and to be in constant prayer. Only one religion. There's no other religion that tells you that you should literally stop what you're doing and pray. So with that being said, thanks for watching another episode of the Joseph Bristol Show. Let's all remember, man, we all out here trying to do the same thing. Survive, and be happy. Y'all stay blessed.